Hello everyone, Ryan here from Nerds for Hire, and today I'm taking a quick look at the Sony Tablet S. I'll talk about the specifications of the device and then I'll get into some of the features later on. So the device's display uses Sony's True Black technology, which gives you is supposed to give you deeper blacks and more vivid colors. It has a 9.4-inch display as opposed to the 10.1-inch displays we see on most tablets these days. It supports a resolution of 1280 by 800. It's got a front-facing camera, 5 megapixel camera at the top there. On the left side we have a headphone jack, and beside that there's a little door that pops open, and inside there you've got a micro USB port, and beside that there is a full-size SD slot. You can actually connect a flash drive to the micro USB port via a male to female cable, male to standard USB cable, and then you can stream videos, music, and photos directly from the flash drive. You can also do the same for the full-size SD slot by using a full-size SD card. Below that you have the left side speaker, and below the left side speaker you've got connection holes for a wrist strap. One thing you'll notice right away is the unique design of the Tablet S. It's got a wedge shaped design, which Sony's gone with, which makes it completely, it looks completely different to any tablet that's out there. It's not flat at all. Either love it or you hate it. I love it because when you place the device on a flat surface, it kind of tilts it forward so you don't have to lean over it directly to see what's on the screen, and it makes it a lot easier for you if you're typing on it and that sort of thing. Okay, so on the front edge of the device there's a connection for the charging cable, and I've got that here as well. The charging cable and AC adapter. The AC adapter is about the size of an AC adapter for a netbook PC, and here's what the end of the charging cable looks like. Most of these devices use a specific type of charger because they can't charge through a USB port, because the USB port does not provide enough power for them to charge. On the right side of the device there is the right side speaker, and above that we have a reset hole, and below that, above that is the volume down button and the volume up button, and then the power button. Below the power button there's an indicator light that comes on in this little spot here that tells you whether or not you have a message waiting or if the device is charging. Okay, so on the rear of the device there's a textured feel to it, which feels good in the hand because it doesn't feel like it's going to slide out of your hand that easily. Even though it is still plastic, it's not rubberized or anything, but the texture does add a good feature to the tablet so that you don't feel like you're going to drop it or anything. It also has some rubberized feet, one on each corner here, which also helps keep it from sliding around on the table when you're using it to watch or to type and that sort of thing. It doesn't slide around that easily. On the top of the device there's a little hole here for a mic, I believe, and somewhere in here there's also a infrared blaster for you to use the device as a universal remote. It's got a 5 megapixel camera on the back, which does not have a flash, so you can't take pictures in the dark or at night. It comes with a NVIDIA Tegra 2 dual-core 1 GHz processor. It ships with Android 3.1, which you can upgrade to 3.2. It supports 802.11, B, G, and N, Bluetooth 2.1 plus EDR. It's supposed to run up to 10 hours on a single charge, but that all depends on what you're doing. If you're playing games, watching movies, playing music, having multiple applications running in the background, that'll all impact battery life. The battery is a 5,000 milliamp hour battery. It also has an ambient light sensor, which what it does basically is if you have the brightness set to auto, It detects the ambient lighting in the room, and it'll adjust the brightness of the screen appropriately. Now I have it turned on to full brightness here for this demo. I find that the display, even though it uses the True Black technology, it tends to be a little dark. It's not as bright as, let's say, the Motorola Zoom, which I demoed previously. It weighs 1 pound 5 ounces approximately. Dimensions, it's approximately 24 centimeters in height, 0.76 centimeters in depth, and it's got a width of about 17 centimeters. That's pretty much it in terms of the specifications of the device. I'll get into the features in a little bit. Thanks. Okay, so now I'll talk a little bit about some of the key features of the Sony Tablet S that separate it from other Android tablets that are currently on the market. I won't talk too much about Android Honeycomb. If you want more information on that, you can look at my previous review of the Motorola Zoom tablet, where I cover some of the features of Honeycomb. So right out of the box, when you turn on the device, it ships with Android 3.1, and you can upgrade it to 3.2. On the main home screen, you can see you get these 6 icons, custom icons from Sony across the bottom here. Plus, you get these quick access icons across the top. There's 4 there, and they actually stay on the screen no matter which home screen you switch to. So some of these icons are actually reflected down here. So across the top you have the browser icon, the email icon, shortcut to the remote control application, which turns your tablet into an infrared remote control for your various home theater devices. And beside that, there is the icon for your reader account. So across the bottom here, you have, on the left, you have an icon for Video Unlimited. If I go into that, it actually brings you to what's basically Sony's version of Netflix. So you can scroll through and download various movies and TV shows and that sort of thing. I'll go back to the home screen. Beside that, you have the reader icon, which gives you access to your reader account, which is basically like Sony's version of the Kindle store or the Kobo store. If you go in there, you can get access to all the reader books you've downloaded to various devices. If you have the Sony Wi-Fi reader, you can basically share your books from that device to this one as well. Beside the reader icon, there's a select app icon, which brings you to a web page where Sony highlights hot applications that you can download. You can get more information about each one of these apps you can download from them. Beside that, you have your social feed reader app, and when you go in there, you've got access to your Twitter or Facebook account. Beside the social feed reader icon, you have access to your remote control icon, and like I said, some of those are reflected in the top left corner here. So while I've been testing this out, I've actually added my Sony TV to it, and you can see what the remote actually looks like. So these are basically all the buttons that correspond to the buttons on my actual remote that came with my television. If you scroll to the right, there's more buttons for extra features and direct access to your HDMI ports and video ports and that sort of thing. So I'll go back again. And I've tested it out on my cousin's Panasonic television, and it works great on that one as well. Right here, this is kind of interesting. Instead of having the full remote, you can actually switch to this gesture remote if you just want to turn the volume up or down, or change the channels up and down as well. And you do that by swiping. And as you do that, there's a little indicator up here that shows that it's transmitting the IR signal. You can switch between the gesture remote and the full remote at any time. And same thing for his remote. There's extra features to get access to you know, the inputs, the inputs on the television, and closed captioning and that sort of thing. So I'll go back in there one more time. And one other thing I added to it was his cable box, and it actually works well as his cable box remote on his television as well. So that's a pretty cool feature. I like it a lot. It makes this device more of a lifestyle tablet than just something you'd use for browsing the net or watching TV and movies and that sort of thing and playing games. It's also got a built-in video player application, and it can play, if you see here, it can actually play movies directly from the device, or it's actually looking for movies on the memory card as well. And another feature that Sony added to this compared to other tablets I've tested is they've added this favorites option. So when you go in here, it actually lists a bunch of things you've been actively doing on the device. I've been playing Crash Bandicoot. I mean, this is a nice little feature, but is it practical? Would I ever use it? I don't really think so. I mean, most of the stuff I want to get access to, I can get access to from the main screen, or if I just go into my list of applications. And speaking of list of applications, one of the cool things that Sony's done here is you can list the applications from A to Z. You can list them by newest first, and then you can customize how they're listed. So you can, once you click on the customize option, you can insert a separator and separate out the applications and label them how you want, and then you can move them around from different locations. So that way you can move them into groups, and it makes it much more easier for organizing them. So some of the other applications, I'll just go back in here, that Sony's added. They've got a desk clock application, which you can use this as basically your alarm clock. You can set an alarm here, and one of the cool things is if you're in, it tends to be pretty bright, so you can actually dim it, so if you're trying to sleep, it's not shining in your face. Some of the other applications, got a file transfer application. It's got support for DLNA, so you can stream from your other computers in your household, or stream directly to your connected television. The DLNA works okay. I wasn't able to stream everything, so that needs a little bit of work to make it a better feature on the tablet. Other applications that Sony's added here, other ones that I don't know if you really use. It's got a Wi-Fi checker. It's got, like I said, the built-in video player. It's got a gallery app, custom email app that Sony's come out with, calendar, and it's got a lot of really cool features. One of the ones that I like is that they've now started porting some of the old PS1 games to the device. So it comes with Crash Bandicoot, and the cool thing about this is you can actually play it directly from the screen using the controls. Or if you have a micro USB to standard USB adapter cable, you can plug in a Sony PlayStation controller and control the game using the buttons on the controller instead of using the on-screen buttons. So I'll just get out of that and go back into the apps. And Sony recently updated the PlayStation Store. I don't know if I could find it on here. And there we go. And it'll actually give you access to a bunch of PS1 games you can download. There's no free ones other than Crash Bandicoot that comes with the Tablet S. These other ones you have to actually pay, and they're all $6. So I didn't actually bother to download any of them, but I'm pretty sure that they're just as good as they were when they were on the PlayStation 1. So that's another cool feature that Sony added. And to be honest with you, the device, out of all the Android devices I've tested, I think this is by far my favorite. I would definitely consider buying this one, especially if you have other Sony products or other devices in your house, in like your main home theater that you want to control. You can use a remote control for that, and with DLNA you can stream movies and TV shows from your computers directly to the device, and you can also throw images or video from the device to either a computer or to your television. So that's been my review of the Sony Tablet S. My name is Ryan from Nerds for Hire. Thanks for watching.